All right, it's like 8 o'clock in the morning, no better time. So I just got the Carmichael bars on the FZ09. Stock bars are off, still have tools everywhere. But today I got in my Thrust Company 36mm rear sprocket and my chain adjusters to replace those pieces of crap on the Grom. I don't know if I've showed you guys already, but I went and put the Pro Taper Honda Mini bars on. Liking those a lot. So we're going to be doing that next. I've already broken it loose, but we're going to start by removing the 19mm axle bolts. Or I should say loosening it up. Not actually removing it quite yet. That would be dumb. And I'm going to go ahead and break. Probably grab the right size. Chain adjuster bolts loose on both sides. So those are the lock bolts, and then these are the actual adjuster bolts. And the level of crappiness becomes blindingly more apparent when you start taking these things apart. I've never seen them before, but I'm pretty sure they're just a circular eyelet that the axle goes through. So, definitely glad to be upgrading those. That's quite a bit different. Alright, so this bike doesn't have rear spools on it, so I have to kind of figure out how to use the front stand to get her up and not drop it. Thankfully it's a really light bike. Alright, so I wouldn't usually do this, and I really hope I don't drop the bike, but looks like the only way I'm going to be able to get on here is by using the other sides of this to catch my swing arm. Yeah, it's totally gonna fall. Alright, it's up, but it's up, but I'm definitely not trusting this, so I'm just gonna be really careful where I'm putting my hands for when the bike falls down, not if. And the axle, ooh, itself is almost through. Oh man, this is super sketchy. I can see the swing arm sliding around on the stand, so that's fun. Finally, my wife comes out to help me. This is next, and she wants to make sure I'm doing this right. So these are the stock chain adjusters. Yeah, it's kind of a joke. So as far as this plate goes, I I can pretty much definitively say right now I'm not putting it back on. Oh. And it's spot welded to the sprocket anyways, so I can't even if I wanted to. I don't know the torque specs on this, so I'm going to use the German scale of measurement and get it good and tight. My wife is smirking at me like I'm an idiot, which is pretty accurate, so. Stock V rubbers still. These things are made of plastic and they're horrible. They're almost, yeah, nylon. That's why I don't trust them. Alright, so tune adjuster is in. That's the wrong size. Get that 5/30 seconds top bolt tightened up, which is basically just a cam that when you loosen it, gives you distance between basically where this touches the inside of the swing arm tube. So as you loosen it, it drops down, and as you tighten it, it cams itself back up to snug itself in there. Chain wrapped. Now simultaneously, to make sure that this spacer stays in there while lifting the brake caliper, the wheel, and that, while lining up both bolts. Shit. Please don't fall, please don't fall. Fuck. Yay. For right now, that's good. We'll start locking this axle bolt back down. At this point, I'm just kind of... Whoo! Raise your hand if your butthole puckered. I raise mine, but I shit my pants and I don't want to stand up. Make sure that we build up brake pressure again. One more time, I'm going to go after these top adjusters, make sure that they're snug. Alright, make sure that these aren't going to move. So in theory, if you tighten this adjuster down, you can't really go against the force of the axle bolt. So if you have the adjuster tight, it's not going to work itself out. Whereas if you had it loose, it could pretty much do whatever it wanted. So that's good. We're going to do tip, make sure that everything's spinning freely. Nothing's binding. And we're ready for the road. Alright, the wife is all geared up. You want me to unlock the transit? Oh, you already brought him out. Look at you. Oh, I gotta run? Okay. I will not trip over my own bike. I will not trip over my own bike. Nailed it. Alright. The moment / ride of truth. I almost got on your bike. I was looking at... Wait.
This is my bike.
Oh my god. Alright, so this is going to be my first ride with the 36 in the rear and 14 in the front, so it's +2 rear and -1 front. Just the -1 in the front was noticeable, not drastic, but I could definitely tell the difference. So we're going to see how the 36 rear feels and see if I can keep up with my wife on her way to work. I'm going to let her lead. I'm talking to myself as well as her. Nope, and first gear's gone already. So, first impression, I can't tell a difference yet. It still feels, I don't know, I don't really think that there's enough power that I'm going to be able to tell definitively one way or another. So I am noticing faster acceleration. Holy shit! I'm gonna pass you and get to him. I guess you guys couldn't hear that. My wife was just screaming, "Oh my god, deer, deer, deer!" All right, babe, I'm turning. Okay, just lost the wife. I'll catch up to you in a second. I'm flipping around. I don't know where they went. The reindeer went to go check on the trees. Sorry, guys. Well, maybe you could see it in the video. Ah, fuck. And my wife is miles away by now. Not really, she's slow. So I don't realistically know how fast I'm going right now, but acceleration feels faster. It isn't necessarily... You there? Yeah, I'm here. Did I pass you? Okay. Lost connection with the wife. It doesn't necessarily feel, I don't know, too much different. It's just, I just don't think the bikes have enough power to be able to really have that much of a discernible difference. There she is. I'm behind you. Go for it. I'm wondering how far off my speedo is now, however. Wife, what does your speedo say? Alright, mine says 38 right now. How many RPMs are you at? Alright, so she's at just under 6. Oh, you're in 3rd? Alright, so in 4th gear, what's it say now, speed-wise? Alright, so she's in 4th at 5,000, just a little over 40. I was right at around 6,000, and it's at about 45. What's it say now? Alright, so she said 37 at 5,000, mine was 40, so not too far off. we'll see when we actually get to the highway. That's where the big differences will be. And unlike yesterday when we filmed this the first time, my mic cable is in fact plugged in. I spent the entire ride talking to myself, so that was cool. Not really. So right now we are on our way to work, and this is doubling as a sprocket test, I guess. Again, nothing really too drastic feeling. So I went from 34 to 36 teeth in the rear, and then from 15 to 14 in the front. And she's still stock. We're leaving her bike as kind of a baseline. Just for comparison before we start doing these mods to hers. So if there's anything that I've done so far to this bike that you guys have wanted to see, let me know and I can do it again on hers and make sure that I get more detail the second time around that we do it. Or I guess I'll videotape her doing it because she works on her own stuff. She's a tough girl. She wrenches. Isn't that right? I don't know if I mentioned this before. Hers is the ABS model. Mine is non-ABS. It's not that she needs it, not that I don't need it. It's just that they had the color that I wanted in stock in white, non-ABS, and then hers was in stock and she wanted the gray, and it just happened to be ABS, so that's how that worked out. So definitely a noticeable loss of first gear, but it gets you up to second really fast, so that's good. Realistically, it's the gear I spend the least amount of time in. So those of you who are newer riders, or maybe just watching this as a general moto vlog, just, I don't know, same reason I do. If I can't ride that day, or if I'm stuck inside doing something, it's nice to live vicariously through somebody else's GoPro if it's a day that you can't get out and ride for some reason. But it's always good to have a plan as far as your riding technique goes with whoever you're riding with, so we always know where each other is going to be. She's always to my right, and I'm always at her back left tire, so we keep these things in mind, and it's a spoken agreement that we have before we start riding. And if anything changes, we let each other know, but we always ride this way. So she has a very clear out. You notice the way that she is parked, or the way that she is stopped. If anyone was to not stop behind us, she has an exit through there. I have an exit that way, although mine's into oncoming traffic. But I'm okay with that, just because I would rather my wife be safe than myself. You know, she's innocent as far as things go. I'm stupid on other bikes, so if anyone's gonna get hurt, I'd rather it be me. And she's just a tiny little thing. It's called being chivalrous. Yeah, unlike that asshole. Where is Chantal? Oh. Yep. Okay, just kidding. Chantal is already tattooing, so that is going to end it for now. I'll see you guys in just a sec. Love you. And off we go. I did this yesterday, and I finally got my opening, and it took forever. And as soon as I got my opening, I went to go accelerate, and I was in neutral. So I ended up having to sit there for like 5 more minutes. And the person behind me was pretty pissed. It's definitely one thing about the Grom that kind of stands out a little more than I'm used to, is the fact that you can't really feel gear shifts as well as you can on a real bike. And that's just for lack of torque and lack of power. So neutral is like, it just kind of feels like the free play of your shifter, like just kind of wiggling it, and you'll notice the bike doesn't hop or jump at all, but I'm in first. Alright guys, Coke or Pepsi? Coke or Pepsi? Age-old question. For what it's worth, I'm a Pepsi guy. Then again, I live in Washington, and when I lived in Atlanta, that was not a that was not a liked response. We're asking for Pepsi. So it definitely feels like I'm tearing through the gears faster, which is cool. And the acceleration that I'm gaining, I'm not really losing much of my top speed. Well, I guess we'll see what the theoretical speed is anyways, for fun. Any excuse to get some high-speed Grom action. So for those who are gonna ask, the chain adjusters, my sprocket, both front and rear, and my sub cage and crash cage, and all the other stuff that's coming in the mail, hopefully soon, for the Grom, has all come from tacticalminds.com. Just kind of an ironic name that I would be ordering Grom parts through. It's Tactical Minds with a Z, M-I-N-D-Z. I can't say much in regards for the speed of their shipping. It took, well, I made the order for my rear sprocket on the 8th, and it took until today, which is the 16th, for them to get it to me, and they're just in Arizona, so, eh. Alright, my cable is still plugged in. We are good. Oh, it's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Always makes me sad because, like, you know that balloon was connected to a child, and that child is really sad right now.